5 federations, 1 tournament. Egypt went to FIFA over a referee, Belgium went over a red card that stopped counting, Ecuador went over car horns and fireworks outside a hotel window at midnight, Iran went over a travel rule that pushed them across a border and back after every single match, and Brazil went over a goal that a machine deleted. None of these countries are talking to each other. All of them are writing to the same address. FIFA has answered exactly one of them. On the 12th of May, 2026, weeks before a single ball was kicked, FIFA sent a document to every federation in this World Cup. It was called Circular Number 16. Nobody treated it as news. It was routine paperwork. Inside it, among the schedules and the entry rules, was a line repeating something every professional footballer on earth already knows. A straight red card carries an automatic one-match ban. No choice. No appeal. Nothing to decide, because there is nothing to decide. Nobody read it twice. It went into a folder in 48 federation offices and sat there. That circular is now the most quoted document of this tournament, and the federation quoting it hardest is the one that lost the match anyway. But Belgium was not first. The paper trail does not start with a red card. It starts with a plane. Iran arrive at this World Cup, already fighting a battle nobody else has to fight. Several of their staff are refused visas to enter the United States. The team cannot base itself in Arizona like a normal squad. It sets up camp in Tijuana, in Mexico, on the other side of an international border, and travels back and forth. The terms are these. Iran may enter the United States on the day before a match. They must leave the country on the evening the match ends. Then they go back to Mexico and do it again for the next one. Los Angeles. Then Los Angeles again. Then Seattle. Land, play, leave. Iran open against New Zealand and draw, 2 goals each. Their head coach, Amir Galanoui, stands in front of the cameras afterwards and calls his side the most oppressed team in the competition. Gianni Infantino walks into their dressing room in Los Angeles after that game. Photos are taken, hands are shaken. Then the Football Federation of Iran files a formal complaint. Their language is careful and worth hearing exactly, because every federation that follows makes almost the same argument in almost the same words. The rules they are living under, Iran writes, do not match the idea that every team taking part gets the same conditions. Equal conditions. Remember that phrase. You are going to hear it 4 more times before this video ends. Iran asked for 2 days in the host city before a match and 1 night after. That is the entire request. The Department of Homeland Security answers by pointing out that Iran agreed to these terms before the tournament began. Iran did agree to them. Agreeing to a condition and being offered a choice are not the same thing, and everybody involved knows it. Letter 1 is filed. Nobody outside Iran pays attention. It is a visa story, and visa stories are boring. Then, in Miami, a machine takes a goal away from the best attacker in the world. Brazil are playing Scotland in their final group match. Vinicius Jr. has already scored. Around the 21st minute, he robs Jack Hendry of the ball, rounds Angus Gunn, and finishes. The Mexican referee, Cesar Ramos, points to the center circle. Goal given. Then video review calls him over. And after the replay, Ramos rules that Vinicius fouled Hendry in the build-up. Brazil win 3-0 anyway. They top the group. Not one thing about the result changes. They file anyway. That is what makes it a warning shot rather than a complaint. The Brazilian Football Confederation writes straight to Gianni Infantino. Their complaint is not that the decision was wrong. Read it closely and you will see they barely argue that at all. Their complaint is that video review is only supposed to step in on a clear and obvious error, and this was neither, and that the same standard is not being used on every team. To prove it, they name a goal. Lionel Messi's opener against Austria. Brazil ask, in writing, why a challenge in the build-up to that goal was allowed to stand when theirs was not. They also point out something a lawyer would notice, and a fan would not. The Scottish players did not appeal. Nobody on the pitch expected a review. The only people in the stadium who thought a foul had happened were the officials watching a monitor. And Brazil ask for a fix. They want Cesar Ramos removed from any future Brazil match, forever. 2 letters now, one about borders, one about a screen, different continents, no connection between them at all. The tournament that promised to unite the world was quietly turning into the most fought-over World Cup ever staged. And the third envelope was already being written in a hotel in Mexico City at 1 in the morning. Ecuador have had a bad day before the noise even starts. They fly from their base in Columbus, Ohio, and the journey takes 9 hours. They reach their hotel 3 hours and 20 minutes behind schedule. Their coach, Sebastian Becachese, tells reporters about it later, in the flat voice of a man who has run out of things to be surprised by. The hotel is the Westin Santa Fe. That night, Mexican supporters arrive outside it in cars. What follows has a name in Mexican football culture: the Serenade. The Associated Press calls it deep-rooted and hugely divisive, which is a polite way of saying half the country thinks it is tradition and the other half knows exactly what it is for. Loudspeakers. Car horns held down for minutes at a time. Motorcycles revved under the windows. Chanting. Fireworks aimed at the building, some of them said to be launched from the roof of the hotel itself. Cameras catch Ecuador's players at the curtains, looking down at it. Riot police arrive around midnight. The noise runs into the early hours. The next evening, Ecuador walk out at the Estadio Azteca against the host nation and lose. Julian Quiñones scores. Raúl Jiménez scores. Ecuador go home. Before kickoff, the Ecuadorian Football Federation has already filed. Their words, again, are almost identical to Iran's. This behavior, they write, is nowhere near the ideas of fair play, fairness, and unity that a World Cup should stand for. Fair play, fairness, equal conditions. 3 federations, 3 continents, 1 set of words. Then, on the 1st of July, in Santa Clara, a striker steps on a defender's ankle, and the paper trail turns into a full-blown crisis over the rulebook itself. Folarin Balogun, the leading scorer for the host nation, catches Tarek Muharemovic of Bosnia and Herzegovina on the right ankle in the 64th minute. The Brazilian referee, Rafael Claus, checks the monitor and sends him off. The United States win 2-0 anyway. The card itself is up for debate. Balogun says a yellow would have been fair, and plenty of neutral fans agree with him. The ban is not up for debate. Under circular number 16, there is nothing to weigh, nothing to argue, and nobody to ask. Red card, 1 match ban, automatic. Every other player sent off at this World Cup has served it. Then the President of the United States picks up a phone and calls the President of FIFA. Donald Trump confirms this himself in the Oval Office, on camera. He says he did not think it was a foul. He says he did not know what a red card was. He says he asked for a review. On Sunday, the 5th of July, 1 day before the United States are due to play Belgium in the round of 16, FIFA announces that Balogun's automatic ban will not be carried out and is put on hold for a trial period of 1 year. It points to Article 27 of its own disciplinary code, which lets one of its own legal panels put a punishment on hold. FIFA had never treated a red card this way at a World Cup, not in more than 60 years. The Royal Belgian Football Association says it is stunned. It writes to FIFA asking for one thing: an explanation, the written reasons, the paperwork. What happens next is the single strangest fact in this entire story, and almost nobody reported it properly. FIFA writes back and tells Belgium that its request for an explanation has been counted as a formal appeal. FIFA has already picked a judge. Belgium has until 5 a.m. Pacific time to finish it. Belgium never asked to appeal. They asked why. Hours before kickoff, the FIFA Appeal Committee throws the appeal out. The reason given is that the Belgian Federation is not part of the case and therefore has no right to appeal. Read that again slowly. FIFA turned a question into an appeal, then shut the appeal down on the grounds that the people asking the question were never allowed to appeal in the first place. Belgium's own statement is blunt. FIFA, they write, created an appeal and then made sure it would be thrown out. In its letters, the Belgian Federation points to Article 66.4 of the Disciplinary Code, which says a sending off carries an automatic ban. It points to Article 10.5 of the World Cup competition rules, which says the same thing, and it points to circular number 16, sent to all 48 federations on the 12th of May, which says it again. If you want the full picture of what is happening to this World Cup, the parts that get buried under the highlight reels and the confetti, subscribe and stay with the channel. We are covering every flashpoint of this tournament, all the way to the final whistle. Now back to it. While the world argued about a stamped ankle, something much quieter was happening on FIFA's own website. 2 officials from the American Federation are suspended for that same match: the team manager and the vice president of security. FIFA posts it without explanation. The American Federation refuses to explain and sends every question back to FIFA. Balogun is fined $40,000 on top of that, partly for walking back onto the pitch to celebrate after being sent off. European football's governing body puts out a statement saying the decision crossed a red line, and that when the people guarding the rules stop making them certain, the honesty of the game is at risk. Sepp Blatter, of all people, says red cards are overturned by rules, evidence, and independent panels, not by political phone calls. Jurgen Klopp says it is our game, not theirs. Balogun starts. Belgium win 4-1 in Seattle, in front of the largest television audience any football match has ever drawn in the United States. Afterwards, the Belgian Federation's official account posts the scoreline with 2 words: overturn this. 4 letters. Then Egypt. On the 7th of July, in Atlanta, Egypt lead Argentina by 2-0 with 11 minutes left. They are 11 minutes from the first World Cup quarter-final in their history. Earlier, Mostafa Zico puts the ball in the net and video review takes it back, ruling that Marwan Atiyah fouled Lisandro Martinez on the far side of the pitch, roughly 20 seconds before the ball crossed the line. Then, Mohamed Salah goes down under a challenge from Julian Alvarez. No penalty. Moments later, Enzo Fernandez scores. Argentina win by 3-2. Hassam Hassan, Egypt's coach, does not soften a word of it. He tells reporters his team was cheated, that they were wronged, that he saw no respect and no fair play. He suggests somebody wanted the world champions kept in the tournament. He announces he will not watch another minute of this World Cup. Zico says the tournament is fixed. The Egyptian Football Association, led by its president Hani Abo Rida, files against the French referee François Letexier and his entire crew, including the video officials. It demands an investigation. It demands they be removed from the tournament. 5 letters, 5 federations. And this is the point where the story stops being about referees at all, because a 6th envelope has already arrived, and it is the one that should frighten FIFA most. Croatia, round of 32, against Portugal. Deep into stoppage time, Joško Gvardiol scores what looks like the equalizer that saves their tournament. The referee gives it. Then video review takes it away. Mario Pasalic is offside because the sensor inside FIFA's own match ball picked up a touch. Not a header, a touch off the hair of Igor Matanovic. The Croatian Federation writes to Infantino. Their spokesman, Tomislav Pakak, says something no federation has said out loud before. They are not complaining about the decisions. They are complaining about the process that led to them. They call it an abuse of technology. It is the same argument Brazil made about video review, and Belgium made about Article 27, and Iran made about travel. The rules are not the problem. The rules are fine. The problem is, who gets them used against them, and when? On the 9th of July, FIFA finally answers. Not the letters, the noise. Pierluigi Collina, the most respected referee who ever lived and now the man who runs FIFA's officials, gives an interview on FIFA's own website. A foul is a foul, he says, and if the referee misses it on the field, video review can step in. The contact on Salah was normal football contact. Then he says the sentence, "This tournament will be remembered by." Nobody can question the integrity of the FIFA World Cup match officials. Nobody can claim that FIFA refereeing can be influenced by anyone, not even by the FIFA president. He is answering Egypt. FIFA ruled on Belgium, but ruling is not answering, and Belgium has still never been told why. He is not answering Croatia, whose complaint was about a ball. He is not answering Iran or Ecuador or Brazil. Because the referees were never the charge. Not one of these 6 letters says a referee took money, and that is the part FIFA should be afraid of. A bought referee is one bad man. This is something bigger. What 6 federations say, in 6 languages, with nothing in common and no reason to work together, is that this World Cup has one set of rules on paper and another set in practice, and that the second set is used by people who will not put their reasons in writing. Circular number 16 still exists. It still says a red card carries an automatic ban. It went to all 48 federations on the 12th of May. One of them got a phone call instead. Argentina play on. Belgium play on. The trophy will be lifted in New Jersey with Gianni Infantino standing next to it, smiling, and the letters will still be in a drawer in Zurich, unanswered. Watch whether Belgium takes this to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, as it is hinted it might. Watch whether one of these 6 federations ever gets the written explanation it asked for. Because the score of a football match is decided in 90 minutes. The rules of a football match are decided somewhere else entirely. And this summer, for the first time, 6 countries have demanded to see the room where it happens. If this is the coverage you want, the full picture instead of the press release, subscribe and stay with the channel. We are following every letter, every ruling, and every decision until the final whistle of the final. We will see you at the next one.